What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, it's your homie, Futuristic Mike, and I'm back with another P-Valley video if you're new. Make sure I leave your theories, comments, everything down below in the comment section. If you're a fan of P-Valley, if you love P-Valley, hit the like on this video. If you're new to my channel and this is the first time you're finding me, subscribe, turn on those post notifications so you can always see when I'm dropping some content so you never miss any P-Valley news. Now, this is going to be my recap for P-Valley Season 1, Episode 2, and the title to this episode was called Scars. It was pretty self-explanatory as to why the episode was called Scars, because your girl Autumn Night was dealing with a lot of scars in this episode. You know, there was one part where she got stuck in a car when they were having a car wash, and we're going to get into that. But before we dive into everything, if you guys enjoy discussions like this, please be sure to give the video a like, subscribe, and turn on those post notifications so you can never miss any other uploads. Now, when this episode came on, I was thinking, finally, another new episode of P-Valley. And, you know, I'm finding it really sad that this show is weekly and not available to binge all at once. I like shows where you can binge them all at once, but it is what it is because this show is good. I'm enjoying it so far, so I don't really mind waiting, but I really wish I could see the next episodes right away. Now, the second episode opens up inside the magical paradise room with neon blue lighting. You know, in the first episode, in the premiere, Mercedes introduced this room. So we seen Mercedes in this room in the first episode. Now we see a man shackled to a giant cloud bed as Keyshawn, who is Miss Mississippi, and Mercedes antagonize him the way that mistresses do. It was nice to see the nudity on this show as always, but they were going all out with this episode. You know, they started the episode showing man parts and they ended the episode showing that. And, you know, I'm not a fan of that. Don't be showing that. I want to see the female parts, you know, what's above and below, but I don't want to be, and I want to see all that ass shaking and everything, but I don't want to see all these man parts. But it is what it is, man. Some shows aren't afraid to show that. You know, I know a lot of movies and shows don't be showing stuff like that, so I was surprised to see that. But, you know, some shows actually do. But meanwhile, Haley is busy giving a lap dance to another client, who is Autumn Night. She can't help herself from trying to look into the room across the way. Now, Diamond stands guard in front of the door and notices Haley's distracted eyes. He tells her to straighten up and focus on what she's doing and get back to work, because she was being nosy as hell. She was being nosy as hell. Now, Corbin says bye to Clifford and Keyshawn, and it looked like somebody was bleeding, man. You could see blood through the white shirt, so somebody was bleeding. Now, Uncle Cliff tells Autumn Night she needs to get her ID and paperwork started if she wants to keep working at the Pink. She starts getting mouthy with Clifford, and he doesn't take it kindly. He demands her ID or she's out of there. You know, ever since she started working there, she hasn't shown any type of ID, so he doesn't really know who she is. Now, in the changing rooms, the other girls wonder why Autumn doesn't get dressed out there with the rest of them. Does she have something to hide? That's what they're thinking. She sort of does, because we see every time something happens, you know, she's thinking back to certain things. She's having memories and anxiety and everything. Now, she goes into one of the bathroom stalls to change clothes, and she takes a swig from a mini bottle of vodka. And it also looks like she has a gun in her bag. You know, she has that pink gun up in there. But every time it shows Autumn Night, especially when she's at the crib, man, especially when she's at the crib, she's always drinking. That's all she does when she gets to the crib. She sits on that mattress that she has and drinks constantly. So whatever happened to her must have really took a toll on her, man. And we're going to find out, hopefully, in the future episodes what happened to her. Now, Clifford and his coworker, Big L, are busy stressing out over money. L is particularly concerned because he has an arrest record and he can't get hired anywhere else if the club goes under. You know, if something happens to it, he can't get hired anywhere else. So Clifford tries to reassure them that everything will be fine, especially with the big car wash coming up. You know, they're going to have a car wash later on in this episode. They're thinking that it's going to bring in enough money to help them. Now, Big L doesn't look convinced. Also, they have a giant thing of Oxy in the fridge. I guess they're selling drugs, apparently for a client that's coming down from Houston. Clifford said that one of the ways to get down to where they were at were blocked, so he had to take the back roads or something to come and get the oxy. As if Clifford doesn't have enough problems, man. He's more than $55,000 in the hole, and then Little Murder pays him a visit by creeping in his car after work. He's pissed because Mercedes didn't play his music last week, but you know, it is what it is. Mercedes didn't like his music. Move on, dude. Why you so pissed? Now we learned that Uncle Cliff did not hook up with Little Murder. It looked like they were about to hook up in the first episode, but apparently Clifford turned him down. Now, Mercedes is taking a jog through her neighborhood with her dog for like exercise or whatever, and then she pays a visit to this dude who's working on his car. This dude is on house arrest. He literally has an ankle bracelet on his ankle, and he's promising Mercedes that he'll be down at the club to see her last dance no matter what. Okay, dude, no matter what. Okay, your ass is gonna be back locked up, so you can go ahead and risk it for Mercedes' fat ass if you want to. Go ahead. Now, Mercedes gets home and she declines a call from her mother, who leaves her a nasty voicemail from the church office before getting cut off by Pastor Gilfield. It seems as if she has an attraction to the pastor. Now, he wants to know where Mercedes' latest contribution is since she blew off her mother that morning. She did not feel like talking to her mom at all. Like Clifford, the church is hurting for money. If they want to get accepted for a loan, they need at least 20% of the down payment. Autumn visits a payphone near her apartment to check on the status of 3 people. One of them is Lakeisha Savage, who is dead, with her body having been identified, but the name she seems most nervous to ask about is Montavious Hill. Whoever Montavious is, they're still out there somewhere. Now, she seemed really nervous to ask about this person, so who is this person? She did not sound happy to learn that this person is still out there somewhere. So is this her ex? Was this the dude, you know, that was giving her problems and everything? But the Lakeisha Savage ID is about to come in handy for her. Now let's get to Andre, man, the photographer we met last week, the guy that was taking pictures. I said in my first recap that I didn't really trust this dude, man. He didn't really give me a reason to trust him. Now, he's been looking through his recent photographs for a presentation on the Promised Land Casino and Resort. It would appear he or his employer is looking to construct on top of P Valley. So that's why he was taking pictures, because he wants that land. He wants that land or in the neighboring area. He deletes some photos, but he does add a picture of Autumn to his gallery folder. And I don't know why he does that, but, you know, I can assume that he really likes her. And he hardly knows her, though, but I think he really likes her. Later, he goes to meet his clients at a classic southern estate house with fields of cotton. And this is the part right here, if I was Andre, where I would have beat one of these dudes down, because this dude really said to Andre, you know what, you can, you're standing there looking, but why don't you pick some or whatever? He said, like, you should pick some cotton. Now, that is not something you say to a black man. Period, point blank. That is not something you say to a black man. I don't care what anybody says. Now, the owners are 2 white bread racist idiots, but they're all in on the deal for the Promised Land Casino, along with their brother from another mother, Corbin, who appears to be mixed. You know, he has that southern accent. Corbin doesn't show up to this meeting in time to sign the contracts. Apparently, he's over there at the Pink, where he always is. And we seen that earlier in the episode. He's at the Pink. Now, Andre offers to find Corbin himself and wonders where he'll be, and both men point to a billboard for the Pink. Now to the next part. All the ladies are attending this car wash. Mercedes and Autumn get assigned to clean an important client's Escalade, but then Mercedes leaves Autumn alone inside, and it gets hosed down. The car winds up being soaked with soap and water, which triggers a PTSD episode for Autumn. She has a full-blown panic attack as she rushes to get out of the car. You know, she's thinking Mercedes locked her up in there, but that was not the case. I forgot to mention earlier that Mercedes promised her girls, this dance team that she's working with, she promised them that she's going to be buying a new gym for them. And this must be why she asked her mom for $20K back later in the episode. We're going to talk about that a little later. But Autumn Night blames Mercedes for locking her inside the Escalade. But it's pointed out there that, you know, there was just child locks on the door. Then Clifford asks Mercedes to take Autumn home, and Autumn doesn't want to be bothered, but Mercedes does it anyways. Now that night, Autumn discovers that her phone is finally working again after she's putting it in rice. She looks at some photos of her and who I assume is her daughter, along with one of her and a man who could be Montavious, the dude who she called about earlier. Now later she goes to a nearby laundromat and uses a computer to transfer $9,000 from Lakeisha's account into one of her own. Now back at the club later, Clifford gets a surprising helping hand from Little Murda, who helps him make wings in a different way, after Clifford and the club messed the wings up because Uncle Cliff's cook just up and left after he couldn't get a raise, basically. Clifford is in no position to give anybody a raise. Now, Andre comes to the Pink to meet up with Corbin, who offers him a pricey amount of money, but instead of cashing in on the offer, Andre uses it to pay for an hour with Autumn Night in the champagne room. Now, things get steamy between the two as they show off their scars to one another. Autumn has some type of scar, and Andre has one from when he was a child, and he was born with his heart outside of his chest, apparently. Now, once this session is over, Autumn gives Clifford her cut in front of all the girls, and since she has a massive stack of cash, Mercedes accuses her of having sex in the champagne room. Now, Mercedes is always hating on Autumn. That's what I noticed. What does Mercedes have against Autumn? It's really kind of irritating me, even though I do like me some Mercedes, even though I'd rather be in that Mercedes. It seems like she always has something against Autumn. She was pretty much calling her a prostitute. Now, Clifford assumes the same until she clarifies the whole casino scheme that she heard in the little room with Corbin and everything. And that certainly got Uncle Cliff's interest. Now, since Autumn gives him the Lakeisha Savage card, he knows it's a fake and she's running some kind of fraud game. This gives him perfect blackmail material to make Autumn juice Andre for more information on the impending deal. Now, in the final moments of the episode, Mercedes returns home to find her mother waiting for her on the porch. She complains about Mercedes not arriving at the church with her, with her stack of cash or whatever, her little bag of cash. But Mercedes is sick of Patrice's behavior, and instead she demands that she gives her $20K that she's kept stashed at the church. This $20K could be used to help Clifford get out of his hole, since he told her how much money he needs. Now, it could be used for that, or it could be used towards building a new gym for those kids. Now, next we see Autumn makes good on her deal with Uncle Cliff. She calls Andre, who is in the middle of a phone call with his girlfriend or wife or whatever, I don't know. This is crazy because I never expected Andre to have a girl, and he's over here talking on the phone with Autumn. He has to hang up on his girl in order to talk with Autumn. The two have phone sex pretty much, and shit gets crazy. They end up showing Andre stuff, and that's what I was talking about at the beginning. This episode starts with showing the man parts and it ends with it, and that's not for me, but it is what it is. I bet some of the females like that, but definitely ain't for me. Now, what will happen if the casino comes to town in P Valley? What do y'all think will happen? Will Clifford be able to get enough money to save the Pink? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts and opinions and everything else in the comment section. But that's pretty much it for the episode. New episodes come on every Sunday night at 8 p.m. on Stars. If you guys haven't got Stars, you might as well get Stars by now so you can catch up on Power, restart it and rewatch it before Power Book 2 Ghosts, and also watch P Valley because it's on and popping with that show. It's just getting better every week. But yeah, that's it for the recap. I thought it was a solid episode. I think it just keeps getting better. I can't wait for the next episode. Best believe I'll be coming with that recap next time too. I'll be continuing to bring you guys more P Valley content in the future. If you guys want to donate to the channel to help support the channel, I got links in the description to do so. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and smash the notification bell so you can never miss a video. I'm gonna get out of here, y'all. It's your boy Futuristic Mike, and I'll talk to you on the next one. I'm out. Peace.